Welcome, listeners. My name is Nikki.
I know that. This is Adam, and this is episode 10 of Dude, Where's My Life?
And you're here, and you're listening.
You're lucky to be here. It's been a few months.
We took a sabbatical. Well, I took a sabbatical.
We'll get into that in a little while. We still did the episode number because I think it might be a good thing to keep doing the episode numbers.
Because in case we don't forget, you might.
Yeah, and I was comparing it to a book. Like, you don't read a book, and after 10 pages, there's no page numbers, and then if you go back to it, you don't know where you were.
Yeah. That's actually, I never thought about it that way.
Yeah, so I've still been listening to the Smart List podcast, and I actually do know the names of the other guys now. Did you ever listen to it?
No, been a little busy.
Yeah. So we're not trying to advertise for them, but, it's Jason Bateman, and then Will Arnett. He's an actor, but he's more known for doing a lot of voice work.
Yeah. I the name sounds familiar.
Yeah, so he actually does the voice for the Reese's Peanut Butter Cups commercials.
Okay.
But he's done a lot of animated work.
Okay.
And I could pay some pretty good money because those animated movies make a lot of money. And they don't have a big budget because they don't have to pay a whole bunch of big actors. It's just whatever voice people they pay and then all the technical people. The other guy is... what's his name now? I forget.
See? We're nervous. Be kind.
Sean Hayes. And he did this show Will and Grace back in the 90s. Did you ever watch that?
I remember it being on the TV.
Yeah.
But I don't know if didn't one of them had like a really like high voice?
Yeah, well, he's gay and he plays a gay character.
No, it's like a girl. She had like a really high pitched voice. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of Big Bang Theory. I don't know.
I really never watched the show.
Okay, so we both don't know.
Yeah, it was like a groundbreaking show, I guess, because he was not the first gay character ever, but maybe the first lead gay character.
In like a big sitcom, yeah.
Yeah, and I was in my 20s, and me and my friends weren't really up to watching a show like that. No offense to anyone, but it wasn't foremost on our minds.
You weren't a political activist back then? What do you mean? In your 20s, what?
No, we were thinking about other things, probably.
Couldn't even imagine.
Anyway, let's jump into some correcciones.
Okie doke.
I think I was going to say that they don't announce their show numbers, so that's what I was kind of comparing it to. But sometimes when I listen to this show, I was listening to old episodes, I don't know exactly what year it is, and then they're talking about wearing masks and stuff, and then I realize, okay, so they're back a few years during the COVID era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think with sitcoms, they don't put, like, numbers or anything because, like, the whole point is, like, you can watch any episode independently.
Yeah.
As long as you know who the characters are, it doesn't really matter.
Well, not the sitcom, I meant the show, the podcast.
Oh, yeah. Two different things, guys.
Yeah, I guess this is probably already too long of a boring discussion about whether or not to say
Oops.
The episode number
is 10, in case you didn't know.
Yeah. That's all we're going to do today. We're just going to talk about the episode number, and then that'll be the end of the show.
How do you guys feel about the number 10?
Yeah.
Tell us. Please call in with your answers.
Let me get into some corrections. The last show, I was talking about going to the Aerosmith concert, and then that worked its way into the big Aerosmith song of the late 90s. And I said, oh, yeah, from the movie Independence Day.
Yeah.
But it wasn't from Independence Day. It was from Armageddon.
Yeah, because his daughter was in it. Didn't we talk about that?
Yeah, we did talk about that.
I don't want to miss a thing.
Right. And Independence Day was a different movie with Will Smith.
Yeah. Is there even an Aerosmith song in there?
No, they're both two of my favorite movies.
Okay.
And I do have an Independence Day story with the girl also. But
okay.
I believe I mentioned with Armageddon, I rented it with my baby's mama. And... he could have been conceived after watching that movie. To two of the
Tylers, Liv and Steven.
Right. And there's also a cool story because I remember the apartment I lived in, it was like a block down the street. It was down in Dallas from a Blockbuster Video. And it was in January. And me and my girlfriend, we decided to rent a movie.
Yeah.
And I remember we walked down the street, and just to be cool, even though it was like 35 or 40 degrees out, I just wore shorts and no shirt with her walking down to Blockbuster. to rent the movie.
I'm telling you, just like I said when I showed up today, there's something about men. It doesn't matter whether it's 100 degrees or no degrees. Y'all always wear shorts and short sleeve shirts. Or I guess in your case, no shirts. Like, sir,
Yeah.
it is cold outside. I mean, I don't know if y'all know right now, but it's like 45 degrees and I am literally in my winter parka and a hat. I'm not doing well over here.
Yeah.
And you're just wearing like a t-shirt and gym shorts.
Yeah.
Like, it's cold.
If
It's windy.
If someone saw the opposite ways we were dressed right now, they'd be like, wait, are they in the same place? Or?
Two different continents.
Yeah. But I didn't need to wear a lot because you said you were here and I went right outside.
Yeah, but like I would be screaming the whole time I was outside if that was me.
Yeah, but it's not like nighttime, so I didn't have to wait for you outside
Yeah.
to make sure everything was okay. It's a daytime show. So,
Yeah, gotcha.
So it's okay. So anyway, yeah, it was cool. I walked down the street without a shirt on to rent the movie, and then probably on the way back, I might have said, okay, we're going to run back because it was freezing.
Oh, I was hoping you were like, and then I walked into the Blockbusters and they were like, no shirt, no service.
I might have carried one with me just in case. I'm not really sure.
That's even worse. Just casually carrying a t-shirt down the street in 30-degree weather.
Yeah, I used to do stuff like that.
Your girlfriend was just like, oh my God, get me the fuck away from this guy.
Apparently not that night.
Yeah. How drunk did you get her beforehand? Because I feel like she would have to be drunk for that.
No.
Never.
But yeah, I said it was Independence Day, and then you did not even correct me with that. Just like the last show when I said I put sour cream on my bagel, and you didn't correct me for that.
I did. I was like, that's kind of weird, but I was like, not as good as cream cheese, but it could be okay. I mean, it depends on the bagel. Like, what is the bagel? Isn't there like a or like a sour cream bagel or something like that?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. There's some kind of bagel flavor that I feel like would go well with sour cream, okay?
I don't know. That's not even the point. The point is that when I say something really stupid, you should be correcting
but it's
me.
so fun.
So
I should not correct you.
So I'm going to pre-correct you on some mistakes I know you're going to make.
Okay.
I remember the Armageddon movie, Bruce Willis was in it.
I'm
Right.
still trying to think about the one that died. Because there was one guy that looked like that was bald and an actor, remember we talked about? And I was like, and he died recently.
Yeah,
And it wasn't Bruce Willis.
There's
And it wasn't The Rock.
There's bald actors that die every year, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's tragic. It's actually...
But the first time I saw Armageddon, I didn't rent it. I went to the theater with someone else. I don't remember who. That was the first place I saw Owen Wilson. Because I remember...
In person?
No, he was in the movie.
Oh.
He was in Armageddon.
Was he really?
Yeah. And he was part of the crew, but he had all these random comic lines, and the audience loved him, and most people had never seen him before.
Yeah.
And I could tell the audience was like, who is this guy? He's like so funny.
That guy with the nose.
Yeah. And then obviously he did some other stuff.
Yeah.
Now, there was a big black guy who was part of the crew.
I remember that guy, yeah.
So that was Michael Clark Duncan.
Okay.
That's the guy from the Green Mile.
Okay.
I feel like already you were going to get him mixed up with the big black dude from Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson?
No. There's the black dude who's kind of in charge of the organized crime organization.
Yeah.
And that's Ving Rhames.
Okay.
And he's kind of big too. He's not as big as Michael Clark Duncan, but he was the guy that hired Samuel Jackson and John Travolta.
Okay.
So do you kind of remember that?
Yes, a little bit.
Okay. So those are two different people. I already knew you were going to mix them up given the chance.
I don't know either of them, so they're all the same.
Seeing as you thought, Bruce Willis could be The Rock, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, any actor that looks remotely the same as another actor, all the same. All the same person.
Okay.
But credit to them. They've done so many movies now.
Yeah, so those are two different people, just so you know. Anyway, it's old news now because now it's right after Christmas right now, just in case anyone wants to know. So this is our after Christmas pre-New Year's show. Mm-hmm. The Aerosmith concert was canceled.
Oh, no.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No, I don't have my tabs kept on Aerosmith too often.
Okay, so yeah, I was worried about that. They canceled it. The reason they gave was that Steven Tyler's voice was having problems. Hopefully it won't be that Willie Nelson situation you talked about where
he's just not coming back. And he hasn't made any comments about doing the concert, or I don't think he's made any plans. I'm pretty sure he's just
Well,
retired.
they said, remember Kmart, she bought the tickets, and I said, well, are they going to refund? And she said, well, you have the option to refund, or they're planning to start the tour again next year.
Yeah.
So we just decided to not refund and just count
Wait.
on him staying alive and everything.
Yeah, we'll see.
I think there could be a different reason they canceled, which is, remember how I talked about that my goal was to, get with a girl, have some kind of girlfriend type thing by then, and I didn't, so maybe they heard about that.
And they're just giving you more time.
Yeah, they're giving me more time. They knew I wouldn't get late by then.
Our number one fan, Adam,
Yeah.
needs more time to get a girlfriend first, so let's just cancel this whole tour.
Yeah.
Which was probably cost multi-million-dollars.
We're going to do that. Well,
But you're worth it.
I did have a friend who put off her wedding for like 6 months, and I think she did that for the same reason because...
Because she was trying to find her husband, or?
Because on the invitation, it said, "Who's coming?" And I said, "Me and some awesome girl." And then she asked me at one point, "Well, who's the awesome girl?" I said, "Well, I don't quite know yet." Because...
Well, they just should have put that on the invitation.
Yeah,
Starring guest appearance from Adam plus special girl.
Yeah, so me not getting a girlfriend is having tours canceled. It's having weddings put off.
It's having quite the economic effect.
Yeah, it's a big thing.
Well, damn. We're going to have to work on that.
So the reason I don't have a girlfriend, well, not the only reason, is I think the last show ended with Vanessa slow ghosting me. Mm-hmm. And that was very sad.
Yeah.
And I was going to wrap that up with an epilogue. Do you know what that is?
I do.
Okay. So for those of you who don't know, sometimes...
It's the opposite of a prologue.
Yeah. At the end of a movie, or sometimes TV shows would do it when the action's all done, and then they'll take a few minutes to explain what happened. For example, I'm thinking when Robert Downey did the Sherlock Holmes movies, and the bad guy, they figured the bad guy got taken down or whatever, and then someone said, "Well, how did you know?" And then he'd kind of go back and show little clips of things he noticed and things he thought about.
Yeah.
So I'm planning on doing that with Vanessa, because people are probably wondering, well, what the hell happened? Like, what happened?
Okay.
But apparently you wanted to upstage me with that, with
with my shit show of a life.
Yeah, with some crazy thing. So the grand irony is, right after I did the show about her slow ghosting me,
I slow
and
ghosted
everything,
you.
then you slow ghosted me.
For good reason, okay?
Right. So I think we last ended with, you got a promotion. I was very proud of you for getting a promotion.
Yeah.
And I know every time I talked to you, you said, "I can't do a show. I got a meeting. I'm working late."
Yeah.
So it sounded like Kramer / George Costanza with the alleged job they had, where they were working late and they had to go to all these meetings.
Yeah.
So did the late night meetings pay off? How did that work out? No,
they did not. I ended up quitting.
Okay.
Yeah, so my supposed promotion lasted for like 2 or 3 weeks, and I was gearing up for it, and like you said, I was staying late, to like train for my new position, and coming in early, even if I wasn't working, I would be on the phone with my friend after I got home, and he's like just going over shit, like casually, like not a formal business meeting, but it's like him kind of just showing me the ropes, so that way I could be prepared. And then like after 3 weeks, everything just went to a halt. I was doing the same shit that I was doing prior, which I was miserable at. And then after that, my managers kept telling me, you're doing A, B, C, D, and E wrong. And I think I pissed them off, because finally I just like straight up told them, I was like, okay, well, if you keep telling me that I'm doing this wrong, y'all are the ones that trained me, so this is a direct reflection upon you. And I don't think they like that. So they made my life a little difficult, so I quit, which was, in short term, very good for my mental health, because I didn't realize I know I talked about how miserable I was, but I didn't realize how miserable I actually was until I wasn't doing it anymore. I actually, you know what ChatGPT is, right? It's like AI bot. You can basically type, text it anything, and it will do that. You can say, hey, give me a story about a frog that sat on a log. And in 10 seconds, it'll have this whole, story.
Yeah, I know you mentioned it when I talked about how I thought Vanessa's breakup text sounded like something from an advisory website for breaking up or whatever.
Yeah.
You mentioned that term.
Yeah,
and I kind of pretended I knew what it was, but I didn't.
Yeah, it's actually, they made a South Park episode about it where all the boys like use ChatGPT to text their girlfriends because they're like, oh, all they want to do is text all day long. I don't have time for that shit, so I just copy and paste what they said into ChatGPT and they give me a response and I just copy and paste that. But that's exactly what I did with my resignation. I just went into ChatGPT and I was like, write me a resignation letter based off of A, B, and C. And 10 seconds later, it popped it up. I copied and pasted it and I printed it off and I left it on my desk when I went to my lunch meeting. I spent an hour putting everything into one of those banker boxes that was mine, and maybe some office materials that I also enjoyed, like pens and stuff. You get attached to a pen after a while. So I was like, this pen is mine now. But yeah, and so after when I went to go.
Wait, you're talking about the brown box?
Yeah.
Like in the movies when they get fired or quit and they walk out with the box?
They're white now.
Oh, I love the brown box.
Yeah. It's got the little things, and I had all my important work stuff that I brought, including my fake flower plant, which was probably the only thing I actually brought. But so the whole time I'm packing this up and no one around me is even noticing it, and so I went for my lunch with the banker box in my hands, and I just left my key on my desk, and I never got a call back.
Well, it sucks that no one noticed, because in the movies, the person walks out with the box and everyone's looking at them all weird, afraid to make eye contact all this stuff, but they look at them, so you kind of got ripped off there, I think.
I know, I was waiting for my moment, for the wind to blow in my hair, and I'm just making my grand exit, but yeah, it wasn't. It was very, very melodramatic, but it was good short term, and now I'm unemployed, so that's fun.
Yeah, I remember when I worked at the London or in Addison years ago for 6 or 7 years, and I was taking another job, and I did my 2 weeks notice, and I was cooler, so they let me serve it out, I guess. But
that's rare.
Yeah, but I made sure I got a brown box, and then I went in there, and I had a locker with a couple things in it, I forget what, but I had to make sure that I walked out with the brown box.
Did the wind blow in your hair? Did you have hair back then?
Yeah, at that point, most of it was gone, so no.
Yeah, you should have worn a wig that day.
Yeah. Hey, can we take a break for a minute?
Yeah.
Okay. The reason we had to take a break is that we had to do a wardrobe change because Nikki had her winter jacket on.
It's cold out here, man.
But apparently when you're wearing a winter jacket and then the microphone cable's brushing against it, it starts making some weird noises.
So that's what that was.
Yeah. So when you're doing a show, there's a lot of little things you learn here and there. Mm-hmm. So don't wear your winter jacket.
Lesson learned.
Yeah, or maybe a wool one that doesn't make the noises.
I'm just gonna say I'm gonna rock a t-shirt and gym shorts like you next time, and
Okay.
it'll be 12 degrees outside.
Okay, that sounds good. Let's see. We were talking about walking out with brown boxes. Okay.
Yes.
So you left your job. I remember you telling me about that, and you said, "Okay, I have plenty of time to do episodes." So that was cool. And then what happened?
And then my physical health failed, and then my mental health failed. So,
Okay. Your body, your mind, and your money were all gone at the same time.
oh yeah, man, I went from they say 0 to 100. I went from 57 to negative 12, real quick.
I was going to say 12. That's weird you said that, but I was going to say
Yeah.
positive 12.
Oh yeah, okay, we'll say positive 12, yeah, because
Okay.
I'm still alive and everything. But yeah, just a lot of stuff happened in my life, a lot of like I said, mental and physical illness. So your girl went through it, but I'm back up on top again. I think maybe we'll see.
Okay. Well, hopefully doing this show will help you get back up on top.
Yeah.
I appreciate you being authentic, because some friends of mine who listened to the show said they really enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. And they said, well, you said it was going to be about depression and anxiety, but there's not that much of it in the show. I guess you're making sure we have more of that?
Yeah, that's exactly. I was committed to the show, so I was like, I have to take a sabbatical to make sure we have shit to talk about,
Okay, speaking of the word committed.
Yes. Yes. Uh-oh.
Go ahead.
I recently checked myself into the nut house.
Okay.
Or mental health ward. Keywords, my depression and my anxiety were just out of through the roof. I couldn't really function on any any facet. I was just, constantly in my head. And I was like, there's no way that I'm going to be a productive human at this point, like I'm at. And so I went in just for like a refresh, a restart, and, got my meds adjusted and, saw some interesting things, learned a lot more interesting things. I'm in like intensive therapy now where I'm in it 5 days a week, 4 hours a day, which is awesome. So I'm back on the up and up, but highly suggest if you ever feel like everything is just too much, like don't be afraid to check yourself in. It's really not that bad. The food sucks, I'll tell you that, and it's a very strict schedule that you have to adhere to, but all in all, like at least the place I went to had the therapy and the group courses that we had to take were really, really beneficial. They teach you a lot of like coping skills and like how to like recognize your triggers, recognize when you're using like bad coping skills versus good coping skills, all that kind of stuff. So it was really helpful for me. Not that it wasn't not that it was like my first time or anything. Kind of knew what I was going in for at that point. So I guess I felt like probably more comfortable admitting myself.
So you were in there full time?
Yeah.
For a few weeks?
Yeah, for nine or 10 days. I was in there 24/7.
And at that point, can you leave anytime you want?
Nope, not at all. No, they do visitation. The last 2 times I went was like during COVID-ish eras, so they wouldn't even allow like in-person visitation. I was lucky enough to where you got 30 minutes visitation twice a week.
You said the last time, you mean like a few years ago during the COVID era.
Yeah, like once was like 2020 and then like 2021. So
Okay.
like 2020 was definitely like during COVID. 2021 was like kind of that point where we were kind of getting over it, but like still really scared.
Yeah.
But now they allow like visitation 30 minutes 2 days a week. So I got to see both my parents, which was nice. But other than that, that's really the only outside world that you get, except for like the times that they let you watch the TV, and if the other patients like allow you to put on the news, then you kind of figure out what's going on out there. But yeah, there's no like, you can go outside, but it's in like closed off fence, and that's only for like 30 minutes a day. So you're kind of just in there.
Is there an exercise area or things
Yeah.
to do like that?
Yeah.
So you could work out and do stuff like that if you want,
Yeah,
right? Like healthy things.
Yeah, there's designated times for it, and they will either send you to the gym or outside. And you don't have to go. I obviously didn't because I don't work out, but you don't have to go if you don't want to. But yeah, it's once a day they allow you to go work out or at least stretch your legs a little bit, because you're really just like in a hallway with a bunch of rooms, and then there's like a nurse's station where you get your meds, and then like a cafeteria, and that's pretty much it. And a day room where there's the TV and a bunch of puzzles.
So a lot of the time you're probably just watching TV with a bunch of random people?
Yeah, watching TV or doing puzzles. I was lucky enough my parents brought me a book, because the 2 books I brought in the first, like initially, were not approved. Which one of them was like the Britney Spears book. I was like, why are we shaming the queen? Come on. But she wasn't allowed to come with me, apparently. So
I could see that. That'd be like someone in a gang getting put in jail and just bringing in gang books. So I could see.
Like, how to gang 101.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I could see them not wanting Britney Spears.
I guess she is kind of like,
Yeah.
she's all about mental awareness, I'm sure.
Yeah, they were probably saying, "Oh, you don't need to bring her book. She's actually in the other wing."
Yeah, well, it was actually because it was a hardcover book. They wouldn't allow any hardcover books because I guess you can like beat people or yourself with it. So I had them bring a Stephen King book for me that was softcover or
Okay.
paperback, as you will. And so I read a lot, and I took some good naps when my roommate wasn't in the room, because she snored and like talked in her sleep a lot, which was very terrifying the first night, because I checked myself in at like 7:30 p.m., but I didn't get into like the actual room, and I didn't go to bed until like probably like 1 a.m. And she was like full force asleep, and she was talking to me about like, or talking in her sleep about something about how like you have to pay the fee to get through or something like that. And I didn't know she was sleep talking. I thought she was talking to me, and I was like, hello? What fee do I have to pay? Like, I thought I was being bullied my first night there. Then I found out the next day that she talked in her sleep. So good naps when she wasn't there.
Okay. Are there people trying to hook up in there? I know it's a little off topic, but just curious.
The first time I stayed in one, yeah. there was a little bit of that going on, but not this time. Everyone, for the most part, is kind of just, focused on themselves or just like trying not to focus on anything at all, So I didn't see much of that, but you never know. Some of the texts, though, they were kind of flirtatious with each other, so maybe it was more of an employee thing.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's people trying to do stuff.
Yeah, because they worked like 12-hour shifts. And which was crazy to me because I remember one time I was walking past a group of techs, they were all talking, and someone was talking about how like they were working a double the next day, and I was like, that's a 24-hour shift. Like, how is that even allowed? But I guess it was. But yeah, it was more of an employee thing, if anything.
Okay, yeah, I guess that happens everywhere.
I mean, they have more freedom to probably get away with it than we did, so.
Yeah. God, that would drive me crazy. And you said when you go in, do you say, okay, I'm going to be here for 10 days?
So you have like a group of professionals, like a therapist, a counselor, a psychiatrist, then you have like a medical doctor, and they all kind of like reside over your case. And so they're the ones ultimately that choose how long you can stay. You could stay as little as 5 to 7 days. You could stay as long as like, I knew a couple people that stayed there for like a month and a half. It just kind of depends on your treatment plan and how you're adapting to it. A lot of it is like medication regimentation. So like if you're having like a bad reaction to medication, then they've got to switch you to something else. And they're going to keep you long enough to make sure that you're stabilized on it. They're not going to let you leave they're not going to just like give you a new prescription and then be like, here you go, bye, the next day, So it's a case-to-case basis.
That's pretty crazy.
And if you're like acting a damn fool, then yeah, you're going to be there for a minute.
Right. So if you act super crazy, then like something could happen. Like if you get fully committed.
Yeah, then you get free rent.
Yeah.
If your insurance covers it. If not, then I don't know, man. I don't know what that happens in that situation, but America.
Yeah. I guess it's weird to think about because I guess everyone thinks if you're crazy, there's just, from watching movies, you go to the loony bin, but then some of it, as I've been finding out from some other people, depends on your insurance, or each state has their own.
Yeah, if you have no insurance and like you basically become like a state or a ward of the state, then you're going to the state loony bin, and that's I've heard terrible things about that place.
I'm sure. Or they just let you out and you're a crazy homeless person, and you're just, possibly.
Which we've never seen before.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't happen. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Well, that's why when you see homeless people, I mean, the other day I was bringing some clothes, some decent quality clothes and shoes to one of those clothing donation bins near a Walmart. And I parked nearby, and there's a crazy guy sitting out there. And he's drinking, and he's talking to people who aren't there and stuff. Yeah. And I said, okay, I'm not going to drop this stuff off right now. I wasn't fearful that I couldn't take this guy in a fight. But someone so crazy like that, you have to think, well, if he does attack me, I don't want anything from his body touching my body.
Exactly, exactly. Like, that's why the police wear gloves.
Yeah, like I don't want to punch this guy and have his saliva or blood touching me.
Land on his needle.
Yeah, so I mean, that's where, people are, there's some of these people that are out there in the street.
Or they just don't have any, like, all sense of morality or, I mean, even reality is gone with them, So, like, they don't even a lot of times realize, what they're doing, let alone the consequences for their actions. So, like, I mean, they could go, balls to the wall on you and, like, not give a shit.
Yeah, this guy wasn't, like, some guy out there looking for a job. He was just out there.
Yeah, he didn't care. He was doing whatever the hell he felt like doing.
So, I feel bad for people like that and their families who just don't know where they are and they're out there.
Yeah, so, actually, funny story. So I've been staying with my parents just because my mom is a nurse. So like she wanted to make sure that the medication regimentation continued, and so I've been staying there. She's been helping me make sure I take my meds, and plus my parents' place is kind of just like a safe haven.
Right.
But they just bought this new fire pit that they're obsessed with. So like.
Did your dogs come with you to your parents?
No.
Okay.
I haven't seen Bina or the terrorist. I stopped by my apartment a couple days ago. But, no, their father has been dealing with them, bless his heart. But, so, like, every evening my parents go out and they, light the fire and they sit out by the fire pit. And I went to join them a couple nights ago, and they were, like, in the middle of a conversation, and my mom's talking about this person. We'll call her Cindy. And she's not homeless, but she acts very homeless.
Uh-huh.
And she'll just like apparently like sit on one of the streets around here. And my I walked out, my mom's like, so if you ever see Cindy, you better put her in your fucking car and just drive her to the gas station down the street, and all she wants is a pack of cigarettes and a hot black coffee. And you better make that coffee large. And I'm like, what did I just walk into? But apparently my mom is just picking up people that are not homeless, but homeless adjacent, we'll say, and driving them to the gas station and paying for their smokes and Joe.
That's cool. I mean,
Yeah, my mom's like, she's harmless, I promise. My dad's like, okay, honey, like, he's a saint. Like, so I guarantee you my dad's probably picked her up like 5 times since that conversation. But that's where our extra family spending funds going to the smokes and the Joes.
Oh, that's cool. As long as the Cindy is a good person
And
not
harmless, like
not
my mom
attacking
claims.
them, or
Yeah, we won't know till we know, right?
yeah, not leaving needles in the car for other people to sit on or anything.
Yeah, I mean, I can attest. I've seen no needles in his car thus far.
Yeah. Hopefully he would take him out before
I would hope
allowing
so.
you to sit down.
I would hope so, but he might be trying to kill me off.
I'm sure we'll get into this more, but so what's the immediate plan going forward? Like, are you like some timetable for getting another job? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a little bit of money, so obviously it's the end of the month, so I'll have to pay rent in a couple days, which that buys me another month. So probably and I have like a couple more weeks of this portion of therapy, and then I'm doing one other portion, and then I'm done. So I want to get through those two, both of them, but I'm going to just like slowly start looking into stuff, because like I have no idea where to go from this point on. Like, I tried the office job. I don't want to go back to bartending. God, I went and saw my boyfriend at the bar we used to work at the other night, just to like stop by and say hi, and like after like 30 minutes, like being sober in a bar sucks so much. And especially because I used to work at that bar, all the drunk regulars are coming up to me, and I'm like, I don't want to. Like, I thought if I wore like a hat and like a big jacket, kind of like how I'm dressed right now, but like I was incognito, no one would notice me. But of course everyone did. I was ready to go after like 30 minutes. So I don't want to go back to that.
Well, you look a lot more comfortable with your jacket off, and you have your cool.
Do I?
Yeah,
And my cool
Sublime shirt. Yeah, so
because I'm
look,
hip.
Yeah, you look more comfortable and normal now. So.
Yeah, I'm hip. My mom did have a Dalmatian, but she didn't name it Lou. So, Sublime adjacent.
Wait, what?
The lead, oh my god, I can't remember her name.
Yeah, I don't know what we're talking about at this point.
The lead singer, do you not listen to Sublime?
No.
In that one song, he's like, I got a Dalmatian, I can still get high, I can play the guitar. Well, like, so
I guess I had no idea he was saying Dalmatian.
Yeah, so the lead singer had a dog, and it was a Dalmatian named Lou.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's on the cover of one of their albums.
Okay.
My dog Lou. Yeah.
Okay. Rick Springfield, if you've heard of him.
No.
You haven't?
I have.
Okay. I don't know if you noticed, but I have like 10 copies of his biography on my shelf.
Yeah.
And there's a story behind that, of course. We'll do that later. It's a pretty good story.
Okay.
But he was really big into his dog, and his dog, I think, was on the cover of a couple of his albums.
Yeah, I think dog should be on the cover of every album.
Yeah, and one of his albums was actually called Working Class Dog, partially named
my
after
bad.
this. What noise are you making with the microphone over there?
I'm making music over here.
Okay, good. Well, I'm glad you look more relaxed and happy now that we started the show. And I'm happy because, like I said, the not doing the show was definitely causing me a lot of stress.
See, well, I'm just building up what the listeners want to hear.
Right.
Know?
And now, we're heading towards the new year. We're a few days away from it.
Yep.
And both of us obviously have a lot of work to do. Because I've got to do that thing where I look for some other kind of job.
Yeah.
And get some kind of healthy girl relationship back in my life.
So Aerosmith can tour again.
Yeah, so Aerosmith can tour, so my friend could have her wedding.
She's still waiting all these years. She texts you every 6 months. She's like, any update? She keeps buying, what are the little things that they send in the mail? The save the dates or whatever. She just keeps buying new ones with new dates, and you just keep failing her, man.
Yeah, all her relatives are just canceling flights, getting new flights.
That's my childhood best friend is getting married in a couple months now, and she sent out a save the date, but she purchased a save the date, and they came in the mail. So she could send them out, and she realized she put the wrong year. She put 2023 instead of 2024, and I love her. This is like such a her thing to do. because her fiance was just like, okay, well, it's not that big of a deal. Like, it's still so many months away from the wedding, so we can just alter it and then we'll just repurchase it. And my friend was like, she's like, oh, hell no. She's like, I spent however much money, I'm sure a couple $100 on these, save the date. She's like, I'm not buying those again. So she just went and everyone in Sharpie, she changed it from 23 to 24. But it's such a her thing to do. It kind of gave it its own little twist. I liked it. I was like, I could not see your save the date being any other way.
Yeah.
Because she's a little bit of a shit show like me. Not as much. She went into the military, so she's got like, the training to be a human.
The military instead of the hospital.
Yeah, right. We just went on two ends of the spectrum, right? But it's fine.
Yeah. Do you think we won't talk about it too much longer because I know it's probably hard to talk about and think about everything.
Yeah.
But I was wondering if the job thing that you had was a big catalyst because you seem kind of stressed out about it. And
Yeah.
I know when it comes to work, most people they want to do a good job of whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
And they want to be good at it. It sucks. It's a terrible feeling to be incompetent in your job. And,
Yeah.
and a lot of times you get a new job and it's tough in the beginning. You learn some things. But then if on a daily basis you don't feel competent at your job,
Yeah.
it's very stressful. It sucks. And it doesn't mean you're not smart. It just means you're not trained for that particular stuff.
Yeah, and that was the case with this job. I mean, it wasn't even that I was incompetent. It was that I was made to be incompetent. I was given no training. But then at the end of the day, I have all these managers that are looking at my work and I look stupid as hell. It's because I'm trained by A, B, and C, and A is telling me one thing, B is telling me the other, C is telling me the other. So it's like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I ask for advice or like suggestions on like what I should do, what the actual right way was from my managers, and again, A, B, and C would tell me something, each of them would tell me something different. So just depending on where my work ended on which manager's desk that day was whether I got in trouble or not. When you feel like you're stupid, especially when you know you're not, it's very stressful. So I'm definitely not trying to get into another scenario like that, but I'm sure that when people are hiring, they probably don't mention that. So it's kind of a thing you find out on your own.
Yeah, and it speaks to, part of this show, I'm not just here to bitch about my position in life.
Yeah.
But it's also a warning to people who are most likely younger than me that while you're going along, you do need to keep learning and improving your skills. Because a lot of people, they're doing something, especially people in the bar business, and along the ways, they're not learning something else.
Yeah.
So, for example, with you, like if you had taken some time and, maybe learned some more office softwares, and then you got this job, it would have been a lot easier for you to transition into it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people I know who are just, they're just working. I said, well, you should take some classes in something.
Yeah.
Do something to make your skills better so that when you get to that point and you think, okay, I can't do this restaurant work anymore, you have something to jump off of.
Yeah.
And then you get trained, and then it's not so tough like it was on you.
Yeah, exactly. And that's especially the bar business. I feel like it's like you go in as like a college student or whatever, just because you hear it's good money and it's got a flexible schedule. And so you're going to college or, trade school or whatever during that time. And then something happens and then you usually like end up stopping doing those extra things that you were talking about to improve your life, and you're like, I make so much money bartending anyway, and I could own my own bar. I could be a bar owner if I wanted to. And then you get like, the promotions at work and you go into management, and then you realize how bad management is, and then you get to like, I feel like where we both are, where you just are like complacent. You're like, the money is okay, and I know how to do it, and I know the people that are going to come into my bar. I've known them for however many years, so you just become really complacent. But yeah, at that point you get complacent, but you also kind of like you want to do something else, but you don't have the tools or like even know how to like search for that at that point. So I would definitely say don't ever stop learning. Do not become, complacency is the worst thing you can do to yourself.
Right. So, and I've, over the years, I've been learning some things. So hopefully if I do have some other job, of course, we've also got this going, which could definitely become a really good thing.
Yeah.
But I will have some skills. So when I'm getting trained, I'm not, feeling that incompetent and so stressed out because, it's just a terrible feeling when
you don't know how to send an email.
Yeah. So I want to talk about some other important stuff.
Okay.
I was at Target the other day shopping, and it was time to get some more toilet paper.
Uh-oh.
So what happened was they didn't have my brand. So the Soft and Strong brand, it wasn't there.
Oh, no.
And there was, the problem before was they had the wrong amounts. Like there was a 6-pack or the 40-pack, and I wanted the in-between. But then the in-between pack, like the 18 is kind of my sweet spot, I guess, the 18-pack. And that came back, so I said, okay, I was wrong about the conspiracy. So now it's just gone. But they had one brand that was called Ultra Soft, and another called Ultra Strong.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, okay, what's going on here? Did they
Talking about Charmin?
Did they stop? Huh?
You talking about Charmin?
No, like the Ultra, the Target brand, Ultra.
Oh, okay.
Because like their brand was Soft and Strong.
Yeah.
But now there's an Ultra Soft and an Ultra Strong.
There's no in between.
So I was thinking, wait, did they just diversify my brand into two separate ones and you could only have Soft or Strong? As luck would have it, right around that time I saw, I've talked about the professional shopper girl that I see at Target sometimes.
Yeah.
And I've been running into her more there lately, and, I talk to her still sometimes. So I said, okay, let me get your opinion on this. So you're here more than I am. Did they stop doing that brand and they have these two brands? And she said, God, I'm not really sure, because I think most of the people that she shops for, they get the name brand. They're getting Charmin or some name brand. They're probably not getting the brand I get. I said, well, there's the Soft or the Strong. And she said, well, I would go with the Strong. And that's what I was thinking too. So I bought the Strong home, and then
it was like one ply.
So I was putting up, well, no, it was actually Soft. It didn't seem strong. I did say I bought the Strong home, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, I wanted to make sure I said the right thing, because sometimes I say the wrong word and you don't correct me.
Maybe they got the labels wrong.
Now you're really getting into a deep conspiracy here.
So it's divisive as American politics, Soft or Strong. Right.
So I was like, oh God, now I'm going to have to find a different brand because I don't like this. Mm-hmm. This is
strong. This is so like adjacent to, like, parallel to American politics right now. I'm just like, I'm just comparing your brand and toilet paper to, like, people running for election right now. But it's fine. This is all in my head. This is definitely not why I was committed.
I like that. No, of course not. No. Anyway, I went back a few days later and my brand was back. So I got the 18-pack of the Soft and Strong.
Because they knew you were looking.
Yeah. So now I have all these rolls of Ultra Strong that I'm not going to use.
You could be the toilet paper fairy.
What I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to bring them into work and give them out as prizes.
Yeah, toilet paper fairy.
And I'll keep a couple around, because I know one time I had a girlfriend a few years ago who said my toilet paper wasn't soft enough. I think I'll keep
What? That's such a weird thing to say.
So I think I'll keep a couple rolls around in case I run into a similar girl.
Yeah.
So I'll be ready for that situation, because I like to be ready.
Yeah, you want the girl to be comfortable even on the pot.
And the others I'll give away. So at work, one thing I'm known for is giving away prizes at times.
I do know that.
Years ago, I used to buy all these used VHS tapes for cheap.
I loved when you did that.
And I'd give them away as prizes. And sometimes it would be someone's birthday, and I'd give them that. And
Didn't you have it was like a Sunday like trivia question or something like that?
I don't know. Whatever. I would just make up like someone would say, oh, what's the criteria for winning it?
And you're like, you won.
Yeah. And like, if there was a good-looking girl who was drunk, I'd be like, oh, you're the winner. And then she'd get all excited and say, oh, I'm the winner. I try to do action movies. Like, a lot of times it would be a Van Damme movie.
Yeah. Or it was like some corny 80s movie. Like.
Yeah. More than often it's like Van Damme or Dolph Lundgren or Stallone or whatever. Yeah. Some stupid movie like that. And then sometimes people would post on Facebook that this is on their shelf. And sometimes people come in I haven't even seen for years, and they tell me, I still have a VHS tape on my bookshelf from years ago.
VCR.
That I won here, for my birthday. And those movies, they have the corniest lines on them, because some of the VHS or the movies, they have the tagline on it. And the tagline is like a line to get you excited about the movie.
Yeah.
And one of the favorites I always remember is for Die Hard 2. So you know that's Bruce Willis, right?
Yes, I do know. I do know that one.
His character's name in the Die Hard movies is John McClane.
Yeah.
So in Die Hard 2, I remember on the cover it said the tagline was, a group of terrorists have taken over the Washington, D.C. airport. But there's one thing they didn't count on. John McClane.
That is such a long tagline. It took up half the box.
But I just love that stuff. So anyway, this is going to lead into something very neatly. I'm about to start, or I haven't started it. I need to tell you about our first celebrity beef, I think.
Uh-oh.
Some news feed came up, and it said that Pete Davidson was on some talk show with Jimmy Kimmel or whatever. Anyway, he bought up like all the extra VHS tapes he could find around the country.
Oh, no.
So he basically copied what I'm doing. I didn't have enough money to do it, or I would have done it.
Yeah.
But he said, I think they're coming back, and I just think it's cool to have them. So he bought all these VHS tapes.
We have to beef with Pete? I love him.
Okay, that's not stopping there. So then I was reading that he was going out with Kate Beckinsale. Do you know who she is?
Yeah, that was like a while ago, but we'll give you credit.
Me and my son used to watch the Underworld movies years ago, and I always said I liked her. So when he was younger, that was like the first crush of mine that he would talk about as a little kid. Like, my dad likes Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm like, well, she's like almost 50 and he's like 30. So she would be, as we become more famous, she would probably start following this show and possibly want to go out with me.
Yeah, and then I could get Pete.
Yeah. We need to do the more age-appropriate things.
Buy one, get one free.
Yeah. He's 30. He doesn't need to go be out with her. She's like 5 years younger than me, or 7, whatever. She's perfect.
And she still looks really good, too.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even notice. Was she good looking? I just thought about her
personality.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
In the Underworld movies.
All these years. Yeah, how she overcame her adversity and all that. That's what I was thinking about.
She seems very motivated.
Yeah. So we got those two things, so I'm already kind of irritated. Do you know what the third part of the beef is? No.
Does she not like strong tissue paper? Or soft?
No, it's still a Pete Davidson thing.
Okay.
I'm watching TV, and a Taco Bell commercial comes on.
Yeah. And he's on there.
He's on there.
Yeah. It's like he's taking all of your ideas and stealing them.
Yeah. I was like, what the hell is going on here? Like, all this happened in a freaking week, and I've been like waiting to tell you for months now.
He's been going undercover at your bar, just watching your every move.
Yeah, he's like totally trying to steal my life. Like, he has enough going on. He's already got money. He's got some good-looking girls and all this stuff.
Yeah, he dated Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, I'm not into the Kardashians really, but
yeah, well, you're the only one.
Oh, there's others, but yeah, that's just, I can't believe when I saw him on a Taco Bell commercial. I haven't seen the commercials anymore, so maybe he's not doing the job.
I haven't seen him on. I only know because I've been staying at my parents and they have cable still. So that's the only reason I know anything about commercials.
I think I would have seen it. I think those commercials were on, I don't know what channel. Maybe they were on ESPN.
Yeah.
I don't watch that many different channels.
Yeah.
So, and it was more for their breakfast stuff. Maybe it didn't work, or I don't know what the deal is.
He doesn't strike me as a breakfast kind of guy or like a morning kind of guy. He kind of looks like a night owl.
Yeah, because he definitely has does he have like the kind of bags under his eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he definitely looks like he's up late every night, which yeah, I guess I could see why. He's watching VHS tapes with Kate Beckinsale.
He's watching the old Underworld movies.
Yeah.
He's like, this is my first celebrity crush.
Yeah, so I'm not happy about that stuff.
Yeah, well, we're coming for you, Pete.
All right. What else? I think the last couple shows we were talking about the fantasy football draft. Mm-hmm. So now it's already playoffs, and so there's 12 teams in my league. I made the playoffs, and in the first round, I got bounced.
Oh, no.
So I'm not getting to go for the championship.
Oh, unfortunate.
Yeah. Should I say why I lost, or is that going to be...
No, tell me. I'm interested.
Okay. I'm in the championship game, right? First, my kicker kicks 2 extra points and pulls his hamstring.
Oh, no.
I know some people listening to the show might not be into football at all, but some probably know a little bit.
The kicker is the one that kicks the ball.
But it doesn't happen that often. He pulled his hamstring, so no more points for him that game.
Yeah.
So then one of my running backs, Isaiah Pacheco on the Chiefs, he's getting tackled, and during the tackle, his helmet gets ripped off.
Oh, no.
And it was fine. He's going down. Then on the way down, some other guy runs over, and his head hits the guy's knee, and he gets a concussion. So he's out for the game. Mm-hmm. No more points for him. Mm-hmm. And then my quarterback, so I had 2 great quarterbacks on my team, Justin Herbert and Stroud from the rookie from Houston, and they were
Okay.
both doing great. But a couple weeks before the playoffs, they both got injured. So I had to grab another quarterback. So I picked up this guy, Tommy DeVito, who plays for the Giants.
Okay.
And the Giants quarterback, Daniel Jones, he got hurt, so they put in DeVito. And he actually did good. I think the Giants were like 2-7 before he got there, and with him they were like 3-1. And he was doing okay. And then so he's playing because both my quarterbacks are still hurt. And in the second quarter they freaking bench him. So no more points from him. And I only lost by a few points. I just needed him to stay in the game for like a few more plays, and I would have been fine. And they benched him. He wasn't hurt. And I'm
They're
like,
just like, we don't like you anymore.
yeah, I was like, how did all this unlucky stuff happen? I know it's really boring for some people. It's just like
just wasn't meant to be.
when guys come back from the golf course and they're telling you about some hole they didn't make, and you're like, I just don't care. But
Great job, hun. You
Yeah.
did great. Proud of you.
let's see what else is going on. I think I mentioned several shows ago how I really realized my depression was happening. I think it was going on for years, but it really came to a head a year or two ago or at Christmas time, where all these people have these beautiful Facebook things, like the guy with his girlfriend and maybe their kids, and they're in front of their new house and wishing everyone Merry Christmas.
Tis
And
the reason for the season.
yeah, and so what's your feeling about that? I mean, the people don't mean any harm, but
It's a little nauseating.
it's tough for people who aren't having a good time.
Yeah, exactly. I actually, fun fact, I found out this from one of the texts when I was committed, is that there's this whole stigma where they say that all of like the mental health wards are like overflowing, and the rehabs and all that stuff are overflowing during the holiday season.
And I
because-
like Christmas. Like you
Yeah.
saw my patio. Like I have in this huge apartment complex, I have the best Christmas patio as far as the lights. The
Yeah.
way it's not
It's
over
pretty
the
solid.
top, but it looks really good. And I have decorations inside. So
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Yeah, I like Christmas. You know, I got sick a few weeks ago, so I didn't get to enjoy the Christmas season as much. But definitely, yeah, I'm a Christmas person. But
Yeah.
then,
Well, I don't think that it's not so much that people don't like the holidays. I think that it's that the whole stigma is that, like, you know, the holidays remind people of, like, you know, family or loved ones, or like
Yeah.
what you said, like what they feel like they're missing out on in life because
Yeah.
they see it projected by other people who, you know, quote unquote have it together.
yeah,
But I found out that that's not true. It's actually the mental health institutions and rehabs and stuff are usually less filled up during the holidays because people don't want to be there during Thanksgiving or during Christmas. Like right after New Year's, that's like their peak season. I'm
Oh,
like,
really?
oh, okay, yeah, because people would just wait until after, and if they make it that far, I guess, then they're like, all right, I'm ready to go.
yeah, they're holding out for a Christmas miracle.
Mm-hmm.
I remember on Thanksgiving Day, I had to work that night, but I went for a walk earlier in the day. And I was just walking around and trying to get some fresh air. And there was some guy, I feel bad because I didn't say anything, but he's just sitting on his doorstep, just with like a George Costanza outfit, like sweatpants,
Yeah.
dirty t-shirt, head down. And he just looked so depressed. And I said hi to him, but I'm not going to just go up to strangers and be like, hey, what's, you know. But
Let me
I just,
solve all your
I
problems.
just felt bad because he just looked like so depressed.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's just people who are in that state where they don't have all that stuff. They don't have the place to go to.
Yeah.
And of course, there's probably some people who, you know, God forbid, they might have lost a loved one right around that time. So that's what it reminds them of.
Yeah, yeah, that happened. My grandfather, fun fact, passed away on Christmas Eve. But I mean, it was sad. But he was also 90 years old, so he
Right.
lived a full life, which I feel like is like a little bit less sad than it's like, you know, someone like suddenly passing.
Yeah.
So
And you could almost look at that as a positive thing in some ways. Like,
yeah, my
you know?
grandma said the weirdest thing, like right after he passed. She's like, I guess this is my Christmas present to baby Jesus this year. But she like paused halfway through the sentence, and so at first all she said was, I guess this is my Christmas present. And I was like, Grandma, like, please let the man get cold first. Holy shit. But then she finished the sentence, and I was like, okay, that's still kind of weird, but I guess that's a positive spin on it. You know, if you're a religious person, I don't
Yeah.
know.
And like you said, he lived a full life versus
Yeah.
if someone's loved one who's a lot younger died in a car crash
Yeah,
on
or
Christmas
like
or
a-
Christmas Eve or whatever,
Or
that
like
would...
childhood cancer or something like that, you know, like, or
Yeah, you watch the news and you see like there was a shooting on Christmas Eve. I mean, that would just be terrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I could see how anyone going through something like that would be bad enough, the holiday, I'm sure, would just bring that on. So I just think people, you want to wish people Merry Christmas and everything, but you should just be aware of some stuff like that.
Yeah.
It just made me think about, I remember like Valentine's Day, I was working the bar that night, and I wasn't happy, you know, like I was hoping something magical would happen with some girl, whatever, nothing happened. So I'm just working, and then this couple comes in, and their girl goes, "Hey, happy Valentine's Day." And I was thinking, why would she say that? Because it's only happy Valentine's Day to you and your Valentine.
Exactly.
And other people. Like, if I had a girlfriend, I would say happy Valentine's Day. I'm not going to say happy Valentine's Day to random people because, you know, oh, why? Are we together? I mean, what does that mean?
It's like the people that come in on like Thanksgiving or Christmas night to a bar and they walk in, they're like, "Oh my God, why are you here? Why aren't you with your family?" And it's like, because if I wasn't here, you wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
That's why. Like, I'm the reason that you're allowed in here right now.
Yeah,
but thank you.
Yeah, the Valentine's thing was weird because I'm obviously standing here without a girl. You have no idea if I have a girlfriend or not, but why would you just say that? You know,
Yeah.
That's weird.
You're not giving me candy.
Yeah.
And flowers.
Yeah, it's like someone coming in and saying to me Happy Mother's Day. I'd be like, well, I'm not a mother. Like, I don't even know why I would say that. Some people say that.
How many people have said that to you? That's
Yeah, I mean, and then if they go further, oh, are you going to call your mom today? No, well, my mom's dead, so no. So
don't
do we
pull
need
that
to
on
just
them.
like if it's Mother's Day, wish your mom a happy Mother's Day.
Yeah.
And if you know someone else who's a mom, wish them, but
Yeah.
don't wish everything to people where you have no idea what the hell is going
The
on.
bartender does not want to be wished Happy Mother's Day ever. Don't you dare.
Not the male bartender.
Yeah, right.
Or even, I mean, it could be a female bartender, but she doesn't have kids and she wants kids.
Yeah,
and
I personally don't care.
Yeah.
Which is funny. My godfather, no matter what holiday it is, he always says Happy Mother's Day. So when you say that, I'm just like, I just think it's my godfather just popping up to your bar.
So crazy person or sense of humor?
Both.
Okay.
Both.
Okay. Good enough for me.
Or maybe just drunk. I'm not sure.
Sometimes I don't know if I see it on Facebook or where I see it, there's celebrities that are wishing people Merry Christmas. Mm-hmm. And that's a weird thing, too. Like, there's some celebrity couple, and it could be Ryan Reynolds and his wife, who's some good-looking actress, I forget who. Mm-hmm. And in
Blake
front of their
Lively.
mansion. Yeah. And I'm not saying he did this. I'm just taking an example of some, famous couple. And they're in front of their mansion with their beautiful kids wishing everyone a Merry Christmas.
Their butler's taking the picture.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not saying he did that, but I'm just saying an example. Like I've seen some Hollywood couples and families do that.
Yeah,
And
I wish that.
And I don't know if they need to wish Merry Christmas to the world like that.
I think that if they're going to post that picture, then they need to send all of their followers like $20.
Yeah.
Like for having to see that. Like at least pay for my meal.
Yeah.
Then I will like your fancy picture with your mansion and your Rolls Royce, like just in the background, no coincidence there.
And I'm not mad at them for being rich or successful because
I am.
Oh, well, I mean, I want to get halfway there myself, so it's cool. If you worked, earned it, and you got there, that's fine. I'm not mad about that, but
I am.
It's just
I wake up every day spiteful because I don't wake up in a mansion.
And some of those guys listening to that Smart List show, there's a lot of celebrities they interview, and some of them seem really cool. And Ryan Reynolds seemed kind of cool during his interview.
Yeah.
So I didn't think I'm picking on him or anything. That's just a name I threw out there.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds seems pretty down to earth, but then again, you never know how people are because you see celebrities and you think they're so cool, and then like some kind of like hot story will break where they're like with what was it with Ellen DeGeneres. Like last year, I think it was. I always thought she was like the coolest, most down-to-earth person. I used to watch her show all the time, which is not on air anymore. But then a bunch of people came out and like, some of her employees and a couple celebrities that she interviewed talking about like how mean she was in real life. I was like, what? So it was all just a facade.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably a lot of people like that who are in the entertainment business, or even CEOs of companies or whatever that expect a lot from people and are tough.
Yeah.
If they're paying you a lot of money, then that's okay, I think, as long as it's fair. Mm-hmm. I mean, if I wouldn't mind working for a tough boss if they, appreciated my work and paid me the money.
Yeah.
I'm fine putting up the work and the effort for that. But If you're not getting paid a lot and if they're just treating you like crap, then that would suck.
Which I feel like is most case. I feel like it's always like the shift manager at like the Sonic, who's like the toughest boss ever, and you're like, we're all making minimum wage. Why do we care this much?
Yeah, I think like Chris Pratt. He was like an awesome interview. He was so cool. Mm-hmm. You know what that is, right?
Yeah, Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
And what? I was about to say the Avengers, but I know that's not it. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. So it's part of the Avengers.
Oh, I was right?
Yeah, I've never seen Parks and Rec, actually. I heard it's a good show. But he was Guardians of the Galaxy. And I'm looking at my, right above your head, there's an Office poster. You've seen that? Have you ever noticed that?
Yes.
And the guy, John Krasinski, the guy who plays Jim, he was a really cool guy, too. So some of those people you hear him interview, they're just really cool. They sound like down-to-earth people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until they're not.
No, Jim from The Office, no, he's got to be a good guy. There's no way. Because I've seen him in The Office.
He would never lie to us.
Yeah. No, I mean, he's pretty much like he is in The Office.
I get that. Yeah, I get that vibe from him.
Yeah.
He did, what was it, the Silent Space or something like that?
Yeah, Quiet Place.
Quiet Place, yeah, and he directed those, too.
Yeah, that's right, and his wife is in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, Emily Blunt is his wife?
Oh.
Is that the girl?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know he was married.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Congratulations, John Krasinski.
Yeah, so we each were able to name a celebrity wife, so there you go.
Wow, we're really making progress here.
Hey, we're on our way to celebrity status here.
Yes.
Because the show has started up again.
And our next guest.
And the celebrity beef is officially happening. Mm-hmm. And, maybe me and Pete will get together and we'll hash it out and everything.
Or y'all could, fight on the show. We could just record, a boxing match or something.
I'm going to be getting back in the gym pretty hard, so he's
Uh-oh.
he's a little bit younger than me, so he might have a little advantage there, but we'll see.
But you got the Moxie, so.
Yeah. I actually do have a soda called Moxie.
Oh.
It's a thing.
That's a thing. Did not know that.
Yeah, I'll show you the can. It's from the Northeast, from New England.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, it's definitely not from here.
It's this old soda. It's not too sweet. It kind of tastes like maybe a Diet Coke mixed with Jägermeister.
That sounds absolutely terrible, but okay.
It's an acquired taste, but I'll show you when we're done.
Oh, okay. Mental note. Don't ever go to New England.
Right. So I think we should probably wrap up this show because I got to get ready for work in a while.
And I don't.
But yeah. You've got to get ready for whatever it is that you do.
I have to go fix my grandma's TV, which is like a every other day thing, so.
Okay, so you're going to start your TV repair shop business soon?
Oh, I could. As long as it involved me showing the customer for the 1,000th time how to flip from one channel to the other, then yes, I could absolutely start a TV repair business.
Hey, that could be a business for you. Just go to old people's houses and show them how to work their TVs.
My grandma does live in one of those, it's like the retirement community apartments, so I could just go door to door.
Just go door to door.
Just make sure it's in the really big print.
Yeah.
And just leave a little newsletter.
There's that young tall girl going to show me how to work my TV walking down the street.
I could actually just charge $5 a pop. I could at least pay for my electric bill.
Okay, so for next show, we're going to do, like I said, the Vanessa epilogue. Mm-hmm. And I'll have to say about my loser night, too, and my stick figure drawing.
Okay.
Which ties into that a little bit.
All right. I felt like they would naturally tie together.
Yeah, of course. And, New Year's resolutions. So for next show, you need to have New Year's resolutions prepared. I'm probably going to do my basic 4 or 5 from last year, but I'll try to re-simplify it.
And I'll try to make one for the first time.
Okay, so I think you should have 3 big ones.
3 big ones? Okay.
Yeah, 3 to 4.
Okay.
And let's see, I guess we'll end it here. And next show will be episode number 11, which we will probably announce.
Which comes after 10.
It comes after 10. And I think that's about it for today. It's great to have you back, by the way.
Thank you.
Don't go away. Don't cause me that stress.
I won't. Unless it's good for the viewers, then I will. Just let us know.
We've done enough of that. You're authentic.
Yes.
You've gone into the mental hospital, so we got some authentic stuff going, so that's good.
Yeah.
You don't need to be any more authentic than that.
Okay.
Now we start the build back process of building our lives back.
Okay, so no more tearing down. Gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha.
And then obviously we could ask the question, hey, dude, where's your life?
Yeah, and hopefully we can give an answer at some point.